Hi everyone, welcome to Hilltop View Journals. I am hoping to do a few tutorials on creating different types of ephemera folders. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me, but when I was younger and I used to have a social life before COVID, if I was going to any work do's or, any social occasions, I'd always have to have a new outfit. New dress, new shoes, the works. And I'm a bit like that when it comes to working with new kits, new digital kits. So as soon as I get my hands on a new digital kit by RachandBella Crafts, as I'm part of her design team, I've got to have a new ephemera folder to put all the wonderful bits in there. Partly, well, I tell myself it's because I need to keep everything together and keep everything tidy, but really it's more about just playing with the kit, seeing what I like and what I can use, and basically enjoying and making something, making something straight away with the kit. So there's a couple of prerequisites then for an ephemera folder for me. It's got to be quick, easy, and readily available. So I wanted to share how I made this one today, and it's based on a tutorial by PinkMonarchPrints, which I will share the link below in the description box. This one I've made with RachandBella Crafts, the works of Beatrix Potter. And I put this together so quickly, and I learned a lot on it. So with the tutorial that I'm going to do today, I'm hopefully going to correct some of the maybe not so great decisions that I made on this one. But I'll give you a quick flip through. So this is the first page, and I've used sort of cellophane packaging here. For the next one, I'll probably use vellum because it's a lot easier to work with, and my sewing machine wasn't quite happy with this. But there's the first page, and I haven't filled this up because I need to do some more printing, but I've just got various types of pockets here. Here I've just got a belly band to keep taller items neat, and here is a small pocket, so that will fit sort of smaller items. Oh, like that. And I've got small pockets here and even smaller pockets here, just to keep the really tiny things like labels and stuff. Here I've just got a pocket full of pockets, another pocket there, small pockets here, small pockets there and there. That one's free at the moment. Not sure if this is useful that way, but I gave that a go, a different kind of pocket. Small pockets again for all the lovely stamps that Rachel does. I do love faux stamps. There's another pocket there. Small pocket there. I didn't put anything here because I didn't want to cover up that beautiful image. And I've got a double pocket here. Of course, you can just use pockets from the kit, or you can just use your scraps. Oh, this is a bit stuck here. Another pocket here, small pocket here. Another small pocket there, which I haven't filled yet. Another pocket there, which I haven't filled. Pocket there. Another double pocket, which will be useful for bigger items there. Small pocket, again, didn't want to cover that illustration because it's so beautiful. And I got a double pocket there. And then at the top, you'll see that I've got a top opening pocket there and a top opening pocket there. So that's what I want to show you today. I'll put that to one side. I might come back to it after. So I am going to make one, excuse me, with the Shades of Spring digital kit by RachandBella Crafts, and I've just basically printed off all the lovely full pages. And my printer does borderless printing, which is really handy. So that's what I've used on this. So I've got full A4 sheets of wonderful designs. So this is what I'm going to use today. And there's a couple here. This one and this one. Now these were freebies on Rachel's coffee site. And before I upload this, I'll check that they are still available. I probably will use this as well as one of the pages. First job, nice and simple, is folding them. I have printed these on 160 GSM paper, so then they're really quite thick. And what you need to do is, as carefully as possible, try and fold them. So you fold them inside out, so you don't need anything printed on the other page, which is quite handy, which means it's quite quick to print. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold all these, and I'll speed up the video. Okay, so I'm going to check now I've got all these the right way up, because there's nothing worse than gluing these upside down. And let's face it, how many of us have either glued things upside down, which, if you have a look at this one, you can see it's upside down. And, oh, what I forgot to mention about this one is the front and back cover. I've topped them with the franking paper following RachandBella Crafts tutorials. So I really like that, and I'm going to do that again on this one. So I've got plenty of scraps. Okay, that's right. The main construction of this is purely gluing each page together. How simple is that? So on my tester, every one of these was a double page, and it's just been glued together. You can see it there. And then before I put the journal topper on there, I glued on some fabric, and then these were sewn before gluing down. So that's basically what we're going to do today. The other thing I didn't sew around every page because I wanted this to be quick, and I didn't ink. And this is just for myself. This would be a lovely project if you wanted to give this as a gift, or happy mail, something like that, but you probably want to take a little bit more time on it. I just sort of slapped this together and just, you know, you can see I haven't sewn around the pockets and things. If I got time, I will do it on here, but you've got to make that decision before you glue all the pages down. The other thing that I will do as well is I'll probably do different pockets. But the pockets, the design, the size, etc. will depend on what you want to put in your ephemera folder. So it's kind of handy to make this after you fussy cut everything. That would be the case if life were perfect. Obviously life isn't perfect, and so we've got to make a few guesstimates, which I'm going to have to do on this little project. But I think we'll be okay. So if I want to sew around the pockets to make them more secure, and I think I will do that, I've got to decide on the pockets at this stage. And the other thing you've got to make a decision about before you glue everything together is where you want your top openings and where you want your side openings. That's pretty easy. And what I would suggest is you punch your hole, you punch your little notch out to remind you of where you want your openings to go. And I would not put too much inside that middle cover where you put in the notches. So for example, say I want a top opener here. So I'm just going to punch that there. Okay, so that's that one. And let's say I want to have a middle one around here. So I need to punch here. And let's do another top opener towards the end. So I need to punch in the top there. That will remind you not to glue all around, because once you've glued it, that's it. You can't have the opening, which I did find out previously. Okay, let's just tidy this desk up a little bit. Get rid of all the scraps. So the next part is putting your pockets in. So I'm going to get some supplies now and come straight back and start deciding where I'm going to put what. I'm back. So I've just got a random selection of offcuts from various projects, trying to stay with the Shades of Spring theme, but you know, adding a little bit in here and there where I've got it. I've cut some random shapes of one sheet of vellum, and as part of my ephemera making party, what I'm planning on doing is trying out different ways or different materials for pockets, see-through pockets, because it's really nice to have see-through pockets in your ephemera folder, but I'm finding it difficult to find material that is robust enough to keep it all together and to stop ripping, which I find vellum or tracing paper does tend to rip if you stuff it a little bit too much. I've also got some strips of music paper to play with. So that's my little selection of pocket fodder. And just as a reminder, we're going to glue every one of these. And potentially sew them as well where we want the pockets. And we're going to leave open where we put the notch in, we're going to leave open the inside, so they will definitely need to be sewn or really glued really sturdily. And of course we've got one side opening, one there, that we'd want to leave the inside open. So that's just a reminder of what we're going to do. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on here the front and the back, just in case I lose the position, because what happens when I'm doing projects, and I am working on a few things at the moment, gets sort of stacked in the chaos of my room and gets moved, falls on the floor, and I forget what I'm doing. I hope I'm not the only one that happens to. Right, so this is going to be part of a top opening pocket. So I don't want to put too much here. And for that reason, I'm probably just going to use the vellum on these 2 pages. And what I want to do is do a series of small pockets. There and there. And what I might do is one larger pocket there for tall, thin ephemera. So I'm just going to see where the fold is, and what you want to do is you just want to go to just a smidge away from the middle, because when you sew it will interfere with the fold if you've got it too close to the fold of the middle page. So I'm going to just glue down the sides. The other thing I like about this project is because you're working on single sheets of A4 paper and then glue in the next one down, it doesn't matter where you sew. So for this one, I'm going to sew like that, and it won't matter because I'll be covering the front. Hope you get what I mean. It'll all become clear eventually. But I want to anchor these down so I don't lose the bits. I could have put a little notch to indicate that it's a pocket, but it's pretty self-explanatory there. And so I want something quite large there. So have I got something that will fit? Oh, there we are. I can use... Let's match that up. There we go. We'll match that up. I'm not going to do any inking. This is going to be a quick construction of ephemera folder. But of course you may want to ink if you were making this for somebody else or to sell, or you wanted to put more effort into it. And I'm just going to glue down the sides just to keep them in place, just a small bead glue. Of course the bottom here will be sewn, and I just want to go again just on the inside there. And actually I probably will ink just the top bit there because it's a bit sort of disappearing into the pattern there, so I'll just do that. I've only used a really tiny bit of glue, and I'm not bothered, you know, if it's sort of not sticking properly because I'm going to sew it. And that's page 1. It's so easy, isn't it? Oh, I love it. Okay, so the next one is this page. So this and this needs to be left open. So again, I don't want to put too much on this side. Just in case I put sort of larger, bulkier items there. So what paper do I want to do there? So maybe I'll just do another larger pocket there. And I'm just going to go to the side. And let's cut it down here, which gives me more strips for more pockets. Yippee! I haven't fussy cut any of the pockets from the kit either, so I'm going to have to rely on my scraps for this little project, but that's okay. Put a notch in, which you don't have to do, and I will ink the top there. Just highlight it and glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on now, and I'll probably speed up the video again because you're going to be bored watching me glue. So I'm going to carry on and do pockets, but it might be worth having a look at this just so we can talk about where I kind of went a bit awry and need to make some changes. So as I said earlier in the video, I'm using vellum, and I might put the strips actually on the vellum. Yes, that's a good idea because that will give it a little bit more structure. So if I just do that now while I remember, so that's perfect. So if I just do strip there and a strip there. Ooh. And I'll ink. Glue this down. So this may help with the ripping, but what would really help is if I don't overstuff the pockets. So I've got a nice little notch there, which I don't mind. Just adds to it, doesn't it? Adds to the junk journaliness. Of course you could put some pretty washi tape there, whatever you fancy really. I think I've gone a little bit over the... There's not much, you know, you really do need to be careful what you put in with the vellum. I have tried in the past to make it a little bit more looser, so there's like a little bit of a gap there, but then it just doesn't fold properly. Okay, so let's go back to this little example here, and before I forget, let's put my pin in my glue. So using vellum there. These corner little pockets are really handy, but I think when I use them I will add them to bigger pockets because it just seems a waste, and you can't really put much on these, so it's a bit of a waste. I will add more pockets to this as I need them, that's no problem. I like the belly band, that works really well. I love these smaller pockets with the mini little pockets as well here, so I'm going to do them. And yep, I think the top opening works really well there. I like these shape pockets, and again just adding these little ones. You can do that as and when you need them. You don't have to put it all in one go. It's just if you've got tons and tons of these little embellishments, just add them as you go. So I like these pockets. Don't think I'll bother with this one. I like the staggered look on the page, and it kind of balances out the bulk a little bit. I do think it's a good idea to leave blank pages and not put any pockets on them. I love this design and this as well. I really like that, and I like using the music paper. I think it just adds a bit of interest. Really happy with this page and not covering the illustration there. Double pockets work really well. This one, yeah, I quite like that. This is a bit of a waste. Need to add another pocket there. I like that, that's going to work well. Like I said earlier, corner pockets need to be doubled. That's a double. As you can see, this is quite bulky, so that's where I need to sort of avoid doing stuff on either side. I like that. Yeah, that's not too bad. Quite like the shape there. And then that's the back. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to add pockets to each of these pages and speed up the video, but maybe we'll have a chat then before we start sewing and gluing on where I'm going to go with this. Okay. I'm going to go from the back to the front and just run through some of the things I learned as I was adding the pockets. So on the back one here, you can see, so I was adding the strip as much as I could to the vellum to strengthen it a bit, and I folded some over, and I think in hindsight that's a good idea for every single one of these. So next time, so the next one I make, I'm definitely gonna just leave a little bit to hang over and give that extra strength there, because that is quite a weak point when you sew, and you could really double up there as well. So I think that's what I'll do. I got a little pocket there, I got a pocket there, and a pocket there, and you'll notice on that one I don't know what happened there. I think I forgot that I hadn't cut the piece of scrap, so I just, you know, made a thing of it. You can always get round things with junk journaling. This one I've just added a belly band. I didn't want to cover the beautiful woman, and I had this glittery offcut from something, so I thought I'd add that there because it matches. Didn't want to cover the daffodil because, you know, in Wales we love our daffodils, so I just did a belly band there. Well, no, actually it's not a belly band, it's going to be a pocket. I'm just going to sew across there. Get a grip, Steph. Okay, on to the next one. This one, so I've left this page blank because I'm going to have a pocket there, and I've just got 2 simple pockets there. Nothing stopping me putting some more pockets in later if I need them. There's no point in overkill at the moment because I don't know how much ephemera I'm going to have. This one, just a small little pocket there because I've obviously, that's the other side of the top pocket, and again I've got a little pocket there and a little pocket there, which you can hardly see because I forgot to put the trim on it. This one, so I've used the title page and just put a pocket there because I didn't want to cover the bird, and here I've got a belly band and I've got a pocket. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that actually. I should have really put the belly band that way. Not to worry. Here, so we've got a little pocket there, little vellum pocket. I'll stitch along there, and a pocket there. Again, you know, the pages are so beautiful, I just don't want to cover them up. I know it'll get covered with ephemera, but at this stage I really don't want to cover them. Okay, so I've just gone right across the page with an A4 sheet of tea-dye paper, put a little pocket there. Haven't bothered sewing the, haven't bothered gluing down there because I'm going to sew it. So that's just nice. That'll be nice for tags and things. This one I've just put a little corner pocket, left this one blank because I've got the side pocket there. Side pocket there, so it's blank here. I've just added some vellum. Again, I'll sew down there. And I don't think I'll sew all the way, well, I don't know, maybe. Where I've got double pockets, I might sew all the way around. But I'm really not bothered about how it looks. I'm just sewing for the sake of securing the pockets. So here I've just used tea-dye paper, and I'll just go all the way across there and up there. I know I've covered those lovely birdies, but you can still see a little bit. Here I've just gone all the way across, didn't bother gluing, but I will sew across there. So that's just music paper. Oh, just make sure I got these the right way around now. Here, so I've got that deep pocket there. Not going to be putting much in this one though because I've got the top pocket, and then I've just got a small little pocket there. Didn't want to cover the birds. Bit of a theme going there. I do love this kit so much. And then this is the title page, and I've just got a vellum pocket there, small vellum pocket there, and I've left this one blank. Oh no, I haven't. No, here we go. Look, it's hiding. I got that one there. I might have to put a little embellishment there just to remind me it's there. Okay, so I did leave myself a little note yesterday. Don't forget the closure. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to sew where I have to sew, and literally it will be just where I have to sew, and then we come on to gluing it all together. But before we glue it, we've got to decide what closure we want on this, because if you want something that's going to tie, then you want to put that on before you add on any kind of journal cover. And on this one I completely forgot about it. That's why I wrote that note as I was gluing things down. But you can see on here I've added just a thin strip of fabric there to secure the spine together, so just to secure those parts together, I should say signatures together, and then I've just added a topper here and here, but it would have been nice to have had a closure there. I could always go and put an eyelet in there and then tie it, and I might do that, but maybe this one, if I remember, I'll stick something across there beforehand if I can find a bit of material that's suitable. And I've just had an idea, which is just gone. No, it's there, it's there. You could always add in 1 or 2 signatures, so I don't think it'll get too bulky. And because these are single signature, single pages, what I could do is sew down the middle. So I might do that. Just thought about that now. So let's just add a couple in. I don't want too many. Not quite sure what I'll do with the signatures, mind. But I'll figure that out later. Let's just add them in and see where it takes us. I'll just put that there. I've got some more paper here somewhere. I'm trying to find paper that's reasonably thick, like that one. I don't want to put it in there. Maybe I'll put it there. There you are, 3's enough. No, let's do one more. Let's put one there. No, I don't want to put it there. Yes, I'll put it there. Let's find another piece of thickish paper. Come on. Couldn't find one. Okie dokie. So I'm going to pop along to the sewing machine, sew where I need to, and come back, and then we'll start thinking about the closure and the gluing stage and the cover. Okay, I've finished all my sewing. So you can see in the back here I've really done minimum sewing, and just to say, you really don't have to sew. You could secure the vellum with glue and some strong kind of washi tape or double-sided sticky tape. You can definitely make this without sewing, but I like sewing, and to me it just feels a little bit more secure. So you can see here just where I've sewn just around the pockets, just done a quick stitch across there. Still not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I'll give it a go, and I can always rip them out if they annoy me. So yeah, so there's not really much to show here apart from you can just see where I've actually sewn. Something I did think about while sewing all this, if you want to make your life easy, then I suggest that you do the same pockets on either side, and then you can just like do the sewing all in one go. Because where I've done, like that one now, so that one's really, that was really easy to sew. Literally just went down there, went across. So that's what I would suggest. If you want to make this an even quicker project, then make sure you go right across the page with your pockets. If I was making this as a gift, or I was giving it away, or perhaps selling it with everything in there, then I would probably not use so many scraps and match the pockets to the digital kit. Although I mean I think that looks lovely anyway, but like there maybe I would have just used the kit. And there's a couple of pages, yes, like that one now, I could have use exactly the same page from the kit and sort of blended it in, and then just put a nice piece of lace or something around the pocket. But so you can do that. I'm just thinking, is there anything else? Oh yes, the other thing I was thinking about as well, and we'll do this next, I think, where I've got my little notches. Where are they? For the side pocket and the top pockets. Yeah, so I've got a side pocket there, and I've got some top pockets then there, and there's another one here somewhere. What I was thinking of doing was making a vellum slip, like a vellum envelope to go inside, so that you can pull stuff out. I don't know if I need to, but I'll make one and then see if it's useful. Let me just get some vellum. Here we go. So it needs to be a bit smaller than A4. That'll do. And literally all I was going to do was just glue this and sew it. And just going to put a little top on it as well. So I'm not going to bother putting a bottom on next. I'm just going to go straight across there. And all I need to do is, this is a really crude pocket. That's just a top there. And I'll slip that in, and then I may put something or leave the top open so that it can stick out. We'll see how that goes now. It may not be useful, but I'm just thinking it might be easier to get the items in and out of the large pockets, possibly. Seemed a good idea at the time anyway. We'll see if it's useful. Okay, so as you can see, this is coming together really quickly. And if you don't bother sewing and gluing and just glue, then it's really, really quick. The next stage, we need to put our pockets together. And again, I am going to go and sew this, but you could just as easily glue. So here we've just got our two pieces, and we punch the back and we punch the front. If you're going to glue it, you would need to just glue around the edges there. And actually I think, yeah, hang on, let's see. Yeah, I think I'll just glue. I'm not going to sew. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac to give it a bit of strength. You want to do these pages first so that you don't forget about them, because once you're in the swing of slapping down your glue stick or whatever, or you could be using double-sided sticky tape, whatever you prefer to use. You'll be in full swing of doing that and you'll forget that you actually need to leave these ones open. So I'm going to need to leave these heavy in into something heavy. So we got that. Okay, so we've got that like that. A little bit of sticky there. And we've got a top opener then. There. On that. It's a little bit too big. I have to make another one now, I think. Let's go ahead and glue these down. Right, so the next one then, literally I just have to glue all the way around. And on the other side I'm going to do the Fabri-Tac. Oh yes, I am using Fabri-Tac. And I will speed up the rest of this because I'm sure you know how to glue. And then hopefully we will get to a stage where we can start using the ephemera folder. Okay, let's just make sure we haven't glued any pages together because there's rather a lot of glue that goes on. As you can see, you do need quite a bit of glue for this project. Perhaps double-sided sticky tape would be easier. Then I find cutting it quite a bore, so just make sure you've got all those, clean them off. I've got very sticky fingers right now. That's the fun of playing with paper, right? Sticky fingers. Ooh. What you need to make sure is when you're gluing down, try and get the spine together as close as you can. Try not to get too much seepage. You can see I've got quite a lot of seepage between the pages here. So it does need clearing off before you go on to the next step. It's kind of part of the course though, isn't it? Nearly there. Oh, that's quite stuck for that. Okay, so what's advisable now is to leave this under some heavy books or a heavy object overnight so that it has time to settle down and glue really well. And what we're going to do next then is think about the closure, covering the spine, and putting on our front. And there's lots of options to do the front, but I'll show you what my plan is in due course. So I'm going to leave this now overnight under some heavy books, and then we'll be straight back within a second in your time, but it'll be overnight within mine to finish this little puppy off. There's just a couple of things left to do on our ephemera folder, apart from stuffing it full of goodies, of course. I've got some seam binding ruffle for the closure. I've got some journal toppers here, and I'll link RachandBella Crafts' video on how to make these, which are very easy. Well, it's lush, and actually I'll make sure that the playlist for Rachel's 100-day challenge is in the description box as well, so that you can follow along, because there's some amazing quick and easy tutorials on there. And I got a bit more tracing paper, vellum paper, whatever you've got, to make the internal pockets. We'll have a go at that. First thing I want to do though is to glue the closure. You could use your crocodile or whatever punch, hole punch you've got, and put some eyelets in there, but you'd have to wait then until the topper goes on like that. And there's no problem with that at all, and probably that's what would be my first choice, but I thought I'd do a bit of a fabric closure because I hardly ever do that. So and I'm gonna glue it on. Don't need too much. I was just gonna see if I could find, oh yeah, so the one I have stuffed, my little prototype here, which is full of Beatrix Potter goodies, it's not really that much gator mouth, and so you don't really need a lot of a closure on there. Oh, actually that's reminded me, before we do the closure, then we need to do the spine. I forgot all about that. Right, okay, I shall have to dig around for some material for the spine as well. Anyway, let's get on with this. First things first, so we can stretch it to make the most of it. So I'm not really going to leave too much on there. I might put some beads on there maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, let's keep that. I don't really use that much. Don't know, it's a bit fussy for me. Okay, I'm going to put fabric tack on there, and just as a reminder, these were left overnight under a heavy item on my desk. You probably will have to go and unstick some of the pages if you're like me and you're really messy with your fabric tack. Oh, me and fabric tack, we've got a very strange relationship. Right, so I'm just gonna stick that down there. You could maybe put a couple of stitches there if you wanted it to be super secure, but I think by the time you put the journal topper on, and you're going to put some fabric on the side here, so I think we'll be okay. I think it's worth taking the chance anyway. Okay, let's do the back. See, it's really handy to have front and back, so it does get quite a bit confusing. And I'm easily confused. And one of Rachel's videos I watched this week, she was talking about the menopause brain. Well, oh wow, I surely do have a menopause brain. Menopause body, menopause everything. Oh, I tell you, the joys of being a woman and ageing. We do not age well. I'm sure men age far better than we do. Have I got enough on there? Just about. Ooh. the front. Okay, going to leave that for a few minutes, and while that is waiting there, I better find some fabric. So just bear with me and I'll go digging for some suitable fabric. So I've got here, so I think this was a armchair cover from my late grandmother-in-law, who had some lovely linens in her house. So I've been very lucky to have those given to me, gifted to me. Right, so I'm just gonna cut that. Okay, let's bring this back. You could put the closure over the spine, but you'd see it, so it all depends on what you're using as a closure and whether that's suitable or not. I think it'd look quite pretty actually, but you know, we've all got different tastes and we're in different materials and everything, so use what you have. And I also keep these as well, these little bits. I've got pots of these little bits, you know, the bits you cut from your sewing machine as well when you're finishing up your sewing, because they make lovely little embellishments. So cute. Okay, you don't really have to get this accurate on either side, because you're not going to see it because you've got a journal topper going over, but you want it to look fairly let's go inch fairly equal. I mean, my fabric isn't exactly straight. I'll just use the other side. And I'm gonna use fabric tack on this because you're not going to see it, but be careful when you're using fabric tack, it does bleed through. Let's cut that off. Okay, that's about okay there, so let's just glue this down, stop faffing. On the last one I made, I didn't glue the actual spine, and I think that's okay. You could, but again, I think you'd need to use a heavier weighted fabric if you're gonna put a load of glue on there. But I'm of a mind not to do that, because I think the spine needs to be able to move a little bit, so you know, you've got more growth as you add items to here. That's my thinking anyway. Right, I'll cut this before I glue the bottom. Just leave a little bit of not glue the bottom, rip the bottom. And glue the other side, that's what I'm trying to say. See, I have got menopause brain. It's real. I keep on telling my husband it's real. It exists. I'm going to fold that and then fold it over, so I've got plenty of room. Just use your favourite glue for this, you don't have to use fabric tack. I'm of a mind not to bother replacing this bottle once this one goes. See how I get on in life, in my crafting life, without this. It just gets so, I don't know, globuled. That's the only way I can describe it, and it's such a mess, and it's really smelly as well. Can't be good for your health. So you can see it is seeping through a little bit there. I could have rubbed it with my fingers, but I'm not bothered because you're not going to be able to see it. But if you were putting this on top of the journal topper, then you'd need to consider that. Okay. Oh, I'm excited now because this is nearly the end. And I can start filling this up, and I can't wait. Okay, so there's my journal topper. So basically this is franken paper, and I've just used scraps, and I wasn't really bothered about what it looked like on the other side, so because I knew I was going to use it as a journal topper. and it did start life out as an A4 sheet of paper, and then I just cut it and then I sewed around each paper edge. Here's a little bit of tissue paper, and I've put some stickers. Let me get the stickers. Here's my little butterfly box. Now these, they're so pretty, but they're shiny and I don't like them. I don't like them shiny, so I hardly ever use them. I prefer to print my butterflies onto vellum paper and then cut them out, but then of course that's hassle. Whereas this is all done. Mind you, trying to get the backing off is as difficult as it can be. But I do like them under the tissue paper, and I'm thinking actually I could probably glue tissue paper on top of these and it would make it nice and matte, so that might be an idea that I do. But anyway, that's what that is. So it's sort of, you know, so I just created a little pocket, but really I didn't need to create the pocket because I could have just stuck the butterfly straight down, but that's that effect there. And in one of Rachel's 100-day challenge tutorials, she goes through her process of making decoupage elements as well. So that's one of her digital kits. I think it's Shades of Spring, and I've printed it on to artist grade tissue paper, and then I've decoupaged it over some music paper, so it gives this lovely leathery feel. So we're ready. The one thing I haven't done on this is I haven't put a heading or anything, and if I'd thought about it and planned ahead, then I would have put a plate on there or something and sewn it in, but I haven't, and I'm at the stage now where I really want to get this finished, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue this baby down so that we can start filling this full of ephemera. Because when I've got the ephemera folder, I'm definitely, oops, sorry, I've just given you a shake, I'm definitely more inclined to do fussy cutting. Whereas if I'm just putting everything I cut into a clear folder or a box, well, there's just no fun in that, is there? There's no motivation to do your fussy cutting. That's what I find anyway. And I got to be motivated to do fussy cutting because I don't really like it. I like the end result. I love having all the pieces ready cut, so that I can use them straight away in my project. That is great. It's just cutting them I don't like. And I do wonder whether purchasing a cry cut would be an option, but it isn't an option at the moment financially. But Carol Ann from Casual Crafts, I know she's done some videos on her cry cut, so I will have to watch them and catch up. Okay, so that's what this looks like. Do I need, oh yeah, I need to ink this as well. I'm using Distress Archival Ink Ground Espresso because that's what's in front of me. Any distressed ink will do. And this really is just made up of offcuts, scraps in my scrap box. It's so easy to do. And it's quite therapeutic putting the franking pages together before you sew them. And you don't actually have to sew them, but just gluing them together is just really nice and calming. Okay. And bonus, the butterfly's the right way up as well. That truly is a bonus in my world. Oh, fabric tack is absolutely everywhere. The only thing it is good is it doesn't buckle the paper, whereas I find some other glues do, but they're more water-based. Not to worry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is what it's looking like. And what the only thing left to do, apart from stuff it, which I will do a little flip through when I put all my lovely bits of ephemera in there, I'm going to make a pocket, an internal pocket to go in there. Total disaster when I did this earlier. So I'm going to make life easy, and I'm just going to do it this size and then measure how tall. So I'm thinking what I could do is have this to go inside there, inside the top pocket, and then you can easily pull things in and out. I mean, it'd be fine if you're putting something like, let's have a look, what have I got here? What have I got here? So say this is another one of Rachel's tutorials. Oops. Oh, I love this. Just love this little pocket. So if I was putting that in there, then of course that would be easy to slip in and out. But you may have several of these things in there that you might want to put in, and then they're not so easy to sort of dig in and find. That's my thinking anyway. So if I do a nice decent... This is a really, really crude way of making a pocket, okay? I mean, I'm sure there are tons of tutorials on YouTube to do this, but I'm just quickly putting this together to show you. If you're not too bothered about how it looks, then this is the perfect tutorial for you. So I want the pocket to be sticking out and to have the top. I think that's sticking out a little bit too much, so let's take a slither off there. Let me just take that off. So I think you need a pocket cover on it to stop the stuff from falling out. Yeah, that'll be okay. Right, let's get that out. So if I just fold that down like that, try and be reasonably straight. I haven't really cut it straight, but not to worry. Not to worry. You can watch and then make it a lot better. Okay, so I need to cut the edge off there, cut the edge off there, and cut the excess off. If I'd really thought about this, I could have printed on the vellum before making the pocket, and that'd be even nicer, wouldn't it? But I didn't think about it. But you can. Or you could decoupage over it. That would look really nice. But I'm too eager to start using this this ephemera folder, so yeah, I'm in a rush now. Okay, so again, I'm just cutting off the excess bits just to cut down on the bulk. And you could secure the creases with some washi tape, because this stuff does tend to rip. If anyone's got any ideas of material to use that's not vellum but it's see-through, please do a shout out, because I'd like to find an alternative. Or maybe I just need thicker vellum, but it tends to get quite expensive if you go for the heavier weighted. I mean, I think this is something like, I go for the 90 GSM. I think the cheapest one you can go for is 70 GSM, and that is like tracing paper. Whereas this is 90. But I think anything heavier, you sort of getting into silly money then. sew this if you wanted to, if you want to make it look pretty. And what have I got here? Because I'm not using my ephemera folder, I can't find anything. This is what I've got at the moment, and it's all a bit of a mess in here. And it tends, stuff when I'm using this, it tends to get really crushed. And again then I've got my beloved scraps that I know I want to use, but again it's really difficult to find stuff in there as well. So that's what I want to put in the ephemera holder. Right, I'm going to use this, which is from the Letters of Love kit, but goes perfectly with this one. And I think what I might do is just put that like that, just to weight it down a bit. And then I may find a little charm or something a bit later to put on here. Okay. Okay, let's just pop that in there like that. This will just help keep the pocket closed. Nothing fancy. And then what I could do, let's get my scrap folder again. Nope, nothing in there. Use my scrap strips. Oh, I've got some nice strips. Ooh, that might fit. Make a little belly band for there, just to keep it in. Maybe I will sew it later. Okay. Let's put everything, all the tops back on the glue. Oop. I mean, it's not a pretty thing. It's not going to win any beauty contests, but it hopefully will help. There you go. In you go. Could put a little tab or something on there. But there we are, just much easy then to pull in and out. And I don't think you can do it on the side pocket because then that would interfere with the closure. But there we have it. So all is left for me to do now is stuff this full of goodies and come back on and then just show you a very quick flip through of how it's looking. So this is the final reveal. And she's a chunky monkey with a gator mouth. But I've stuffed it as much as I can just to show you how much you really can fit in one of these styles of ephemera folder. And I want to go through some of the maybe positives and maybe things that I would change in my next project. So yes, I would definitely put some kind of book plate or just label there, which I will do a little bit later when I've got some time. But I wanted to get this finished so that I could upload it ready for maybe tomorrow. Everything that you see in this journal I have made following Rachel at RachandBella Crafts design. I'm part of a design team, so I am following along with all her challenges. She's doing the 100 days challenge and she's uploading tutorials for us every day, really simple but such wonderful tutorials to follow, and it's great because when you commit to doing something 100 days, you don't want something that's going to be really, really long. But she's doing a mixture of maybe one project in a week where you do a little bit of crafting every day, or she'll just do a range of different really quick mass making ideas. And it's honestly, I would highly recommend you going along and having a look, and the playlist will be linked below. So here I've done some scrappy clusters, and they fit in lovely in these vellum pockets, and they're quite easy to pull out, so I'm not too worried about them. I got my random bits of paper there that I'll probably rip out. Here's my top pocket, and I filled it full of strips, and also I've got some strips that are a little bit too long. I could cut them down and put them in there, but I just thought, no, you can just show you how you can use both types, and you don't really need the pocket, but it's just handy to pull in and out, isn't it? I could put a little tab on the top there. Here is one of Rachel's tutorials, which is a clipboard notebook. So these notes can come out there, and it's a hidden paper clip. Use my little scrappy cluster there, and in the back, so the hidden paper clip is under there, and then you've got a hidden pocket there. And as part of this tutorial, Rachel has provided some lovely freebies templates on her coffee site. I haven't got them to hand here at the moment, unfortunately, but I have printed them off, and I'm going to make some more. And it's got all the fold lines on there, but you can easily follow along and not print off the kit if you don't want to. And then of course, so when it goes in your journal, it just goes like that. And you've got your hidden stuff underneath if you want to hide something in there. That's a really lovely tutorial. I've got some reduced pages from the Letters of Love kit that I think goes really well with the Shade of Spring. So they're in there. Still got that beautiful illustration. Here I've just got some leftover tissue paper that I've printed the kit on. And there's a tutorial in my video selection on how to print on artist tissue paper. And I'll use that then for doing some decoupage. My random bits of paper. Here's some scraps and some nice freebies from RachandBella again on her Ko-fi site. So I've got some spare pockets up there. Here's vellum printed. This is another tutorial, and I'm missing a little tag there because you can. I'll show you on the other ones now, but these are great. These double flip pockets, they're just lovely. I've got a couple more examples here, so you can see there's a little space there to do your tags, and they're so cute, so very, very cute. Love them. So they're waiting to go in a journal. And that's the idea with this ephemera folder for me, is as well as keeping stuff that I'm fussy cutting, stuff's going to be coming in and out really quickly, because as I finish off my design team project and finish a journal for a friend, obviously I'll be using some of the pieces. So it's just to keep them neat and tidy. This is another tutorial from Rachel where you just use bits of scrappy fabric, and I've printed her faux envelopes on fabric there. Again, one of my tutorials shows you how to do that as part of the JJ Tips, Tricks and Hacks 23 collaboration. More clusters there. In here I've got some faux stamps ready for more clusters. This is nice and blank. Oh no, sorry, actually there's a pocket there which I haven't filled. Oh, am I going to fill that? I'm sure I've got something here to fill. That'll remind me to fill that. Got some of lovely flashcards from Rachel. Some very poorly cut, fussy cut birds from the kit. Another one of Rachel's tutorials is like a little house flip, and you've got some hidden journaling space, and you've got lots of pockets. You can open it out and put more journaling on. Just love these. I haven't put this one together because I don't know how it's going to fit in my journal yet, but as you can see there's just tons of space to put lots of hidden things in there. I've made some of these little pockets based on the same way I did it earlier, for the really small ephemera that you cut out, and this should help to keep this, you know, to not have so much movement in the vellum, to try and avoid ripping it. So it's just easier to get the little bits in and out because they're a bit fiddly, and it doesn't matter what you use there. Having them in pockets is going to make life a lot easier. Or little envelopes. You could use the envelopes in the kits that you buy and use them, and then just maybe put a label on them or something. This is just a pocket with some tags and things ready to be backed with coffee dye paper. I've got more little offcuts there. This is the belly band. This is where the belly band comes in, where you've got long strips that you just want to keep tidy, because what sometimes happens is that can't get it back in there now. They sort of bend over and they get all dog-eared and things. Oh, I can't get that in. There we are. So the belly bands are really handy where you've got a full page and just one small pocket. Again, I've made a little pocket there to hold my scraps that I just can't bear to part with. More scraps there. Another little pocket or envelope. Money envelopes would work really well then. You could just put a label on the front. That would work really well. Now in here I've got this really, really bulky mini journal. Again, this is another one of Rachel's tutorials as part of her challenge. And I wanted to put this in here just to show you really how much room you've got in this ephemera folder. And if I just do a quick flip through of this, and you can see it's just got pockets galore for ephemera to fill in. I did have something on there which I have seemed to have lost. Should be around. Oh, here we are. I think the bull clip is actually, right, okay, yeah, I can see. The bull clip is ripped there, so I need to repair that. I'll do that after. So you've got hidden pockets in here, you've got a little tag there, more tag space, and you've got journaling space, another tag, more tag space. But this really is a lovely tutorial, so I would really encourage you to go along and have a look at that. And as you can see, it fits in just nice in here. So just bearing in mind that because this is folded over A4, it's not quite A5. Oh, can't get it back in there now. And so you're only really going to fit stuff that's sort of TN size safely, Traveller's Notebook style safely in here. Getting towards the back now, there's some space there, got loads of space in this one, and I've got space there which I haven't filled, and I've got a belly band there, and I'm going to use that to when I fussy cut all the pockets and envelopes that are available in the kit. And again, I've got bags of space here, got my more pockets which I haven't filled, and that's it. So there is the ephemera folder, and what I'm hoping to do is to actually do a series of ephemera holders, because I've got lots of ideas on different ways to make them, and different sizes, designs, etc., styles. So as I work with the kits from RachandBella Crafts as part of the design team, I'll be making folders to match them. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, and please don't forget to visit PinkMonarchPrints, who did the original tutorial on this, and you know, have a look at their kits. They're lovely, and obviously her tutorials are amazing. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and please check out the links that I include in the description box, and leave me some comments. Please like and subscribe, which would really help build my channel. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye.